My reality of my childhood was, it was pretty normal. I thought it was a pretty normal childhood. I realize now, when I look back, our family was pretty insulated, very closed off, insular. It was a feeling that we were a little better because of our religion. Our religious belief was Christian Science, and there was a the concept of Christian Science is you're using all of the God's power to heal you. You don't believe in doctors. You don't believe in dentists. Even you don't believe in anything around health class or anything physical like that. You're learning every subject in the classroom, and okay, get out your health books, and I would have to leave. My reality was that, when you're standing in the hallway, you're in trouble, and teachers are looking at you funny, and you're getting the bad vibes from people. And I'm out here because my parents told me a little speech to say about our religion and why, and I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it or understand it. So when people would say, oh, this and that, and we believe this, and my dad would kind of roll his eyes and say, no, we don't believe in that. And when he would read from the Bible, he'd get teary-eyed, and it would be so emotional. And I would wonder why I don't get any of that. What's wrong with me? Am I supposed to be like him? Well, I wanted to learn about all things, and I wasn't really allowed to do that. Well, I think the wound was that I'm different than everybody else, and no one will ever understand what I'm thinking. And so that's one of those things that obviously have shown up in some lyrics.
Dear mother, dear father, what is this hell you put me through? Believer, deceiver, day in, day out, live my life through you. Pushed onto me what's wrong or right, hidden from this thing that they call life.
My other belief about my family is that it fell apart, it disintegrated, and I knew nothing about it. I didn't know it was happening, and I wasn't the man. I wasn't taught to step up and take control of the family and say, hey, wow, this is going on. The thing that hurt me most, and when I look back at it, I get really mad that my dad he left without saying goodbye. He left a note. It wasn't even to me. And I fucking hated him for that. And I let him know.
Did you?
Yeah. And my sister couldn't believe how I was talking to my dad. It's like, what are you doing? You're talking to him like that. It's like, I don't care. He screwed us. When my father left, I was 13. My mother passed away. I was 16. I blamed him for that. I blamed him for my mom passing away. Obviously, the Christian Science religion is you don't go to the doctor. She died of a cancer that we watched her wither away, me and my sister. It was a big blur, all of that, all through high school. I went straight into the drinking, so I masked a lot of feelings of abandonment. Once the abandonment happened, and once I really got a deep anger for my father and my mother passed away, I had couple of close friends that I was pretty close with, but not to the point where you could sit down and say, man, my mom died and I feel like this. There was none of that. There was no funeral. There was no grieving part. That's another part of the religion that just, it didn't do well for me.
I see faith in your eyes. Never you hear the discouraging lies. I hear faith in your cries. Broken is the promise. Betrayal, the healing hand held back by the deepened nail. Follow the God that failed.
It feels so weird saying this, but I really tried to get close with him again, get back together, and I bought him a house so I could go visit him. Why did I do that? Why? Am I supposed to do that? Rockers, when they get money, they buy their parent the house they wanted. Yeah, we'd go hunting together. We do some things together, but it was never close. It was extremely surfacey, very surfacey. And I think I asked him one time, why do you think mom died? And he kind of jumped around the subject a bit. I told him what I thought. I thought she died because you left. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know you were the breadwinner. And she didn't know how to work. She didn't know how to do anything. I mean, she was an artist. She could go and paint and do stuff like that, but to sustain your family on just that stuff. It didn't end great with my dad. He was sick. He had cancer as well. And it kind of went away. It just went away. I've gotten closure with my mom, going to her, this mausoleum, you call it, and just asking her all kinds of questions. You know, why? Why didn't you let us help you? This, all these things, all these questions that maybe I'll get the answer to later. I certainly started to close off the world and get very, very deep into music and let my feelings out through music. I would hear songs and understand that they're talking to me, they're communicating with me, they understand me, and that was where I started to connect to music people. My family fell apart, so I created my own family with the band, and then Cliff goes, and that was another extremely tough time.
Early Saturday morning, September 27th, 1986, on the road near Ljungby, Sweden, Cliff Burton died. He was 24 years old.
He just got thrown out the window, and boom, the bus landed on him, and basically, by all accounts, he never woke up.
Drinkers we were. We went back to the hotel and just drank.
I remember at 4 o'clock in the morning, I could hear James down on the street, drunk, screaming, Cliff, where are you? And when I heard that, I just broke into tears,
Within hours, news of Cliff's death reached the town.
I would say that Cliff passing didn't. Well, yes, it really reopened that whole wound of abandonment of anyone I'm kind of gonna get close to. You're just gonna leave, and it's better maybe to not put your heart out there. I see how I gathered up some of those tools and used them later on to, the mighty Hetfield speaks or something, stand back, don't get close, I'm a rock, I'm immovable, I've got no emotion, and that was the easy way to not get close to anybody. And yeah, I still struggle with that, wanting to just stop the world. Okay, you get there, the total control aspect of it. On stage was an easy persona to put on. It's a jacket that I could wear easily because of my past wounds. And I could get up there and play the victim and back off, get away from me. And but when I took that off, it was still there. There's an integrity to part of that I believe, but most of it is the shield. It's the shield to keep people back.
I'll die if I let go. Control is love. Love is control. I will only let you breathe my air that you receive. Then we'll see if I let you love me. Kill, 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 kill!
I try to write about something, and it morphs into this other thing. And that is the gift part that I believe. It's allowing me to get the stuff out that's still sitting in there. It's no good to you until you discover it yourself. So sitting there, soapboxy, writing lyrics about, okay, your dad left and now do this for yourself and blah, blah, blah. No one's going to relate to that. They're going to want to relate to the struggle and know that there's someone out there helping speak about this. Wounds are good fodder for lyrics, man. they're a great thing to write about, and it's your story. You know, I'm getting to write my story, and people listening to it.
What do you think the most personal track is to you?
Unforgiven.
With time, the child draws in. This whipping boy done wrong, deprived of all his thoughts. The young man struggles on and on, you know.
Our kids have no choice on how good a parent we're going to be. I'm going to be there because of what's happened in my past. I've had to learn how to love the family. I really have, because it didn't come easy. I fought it. I fought it for a while. I think once I started yelling at my kids and laying down the hammer, and I just, oh, whoa, that's what my dad would do. I got to stop that. And what really has helped me a lot with forgiving my dad or letting that go is just rewinding into his childhood and seeing he was raised on a farm with a bunch of women. You know, he didn't have a father figure. His dad wasn't around. I had to realize that the world does not revolve around James Hэтfild, and that I get a lot more gratification out of hanging out with my family than I do with anybody else.
Big eyes to open soon, believing all under sun and moon. But does heaven know you're here? And did they give you smiles or tears? No tears.
Well, I always say I want to make it to Grandpa, where I can just sit there and have all the little ones run around and, oh yeah, Grandpa Het, how's it going? And, you know, and pull my finger, all that good stuff. You know, I definitely want that. I want to be the patriarch of the family and feel like I can be loved by them, and I can answer any, no matter how silly the question is. I'll take time to answer that. That's what I'd love to do to my kids, grandkids, great grandkids. Who knows? That's the love part of this world, and I want to see more of that.